Dobry den. I want to start by asking some questions. It's like disco. Okay. So I just want to know a bit more about my mobile phones. Yeah. I want to know a bit more about my crowd. Want to know who uses JavaScript and HTML at work. Everyone else is PHP, .NET, Ruby.
Doing it home under the blanket doesn't count.
That, sorry?
Doing it at home,
yes.
Home under the blanket doesn't count.
Many things that you do at home under the blanket count. What about jQuery, jQuery UI mobile?
Sure.
Yes. Who doesn't use jQuery?
No.
No one?
I do.
Okay. And who does graphics using HTML on, like data visualization, if you work for Jaspersoft?
Well, we use like third-party HTML5 PyCharm.
Cool. Are they Canvas or SVG?
Well, I think they're Canvas.
Canvas.
Cool. Once again. No? Okay, SVG.
So my presentation is half in Ukrainian, half in English. I'll be talking in English, and I'm going to explain to you about the web graphics and how HTML5 has new and really cool ways to make some graphics. Who am I? My name is Tiang. I've been doing programming for a very long time. I've worked in Australia. I have also been a TV presenter. I like doing technical presentation, to do coding and to share about testing and that sort of thing. And my interest is about software quality and how to write good software that is no bugs and that sort of thing. So agile and pair programming, extreme programming. It's, for me, very interesting. So my background is in .NET, in Microsoft technologies, Windows Azure, and also in HTML and JavaScript. I'm now a project manager for a Slovakian startup called Translate Karate. And we do online web translation for businesses who have websites or mobile applications. And we use like people to translate the actual text. I also like to help businesses to understand technology. So how do we use new things or payment gateways and such systems. Today we're going to learn about vector graphics and bitmap graphics. Yes. So in the past, in the 1980s, 1970s, we couldn't share graphics or images. So how people share is they use ASCII, to create. And this is a very famous Australian animal called a koala. You can see there's an invisible one over there. It's actually very cool. And then after a while, we began to have basic graphics. We started with bitmaps because you can draw pixel by pixel. And then you have PNG, TIFF, JPEG, and many other different formats as well. The problem with it is it's rasterized, so it's pixel, and you can have on images different size image. And then we came to more advanced graphics where you can now use Flash. And with Flash you can do cool animations and graphics and sounds, and you use vectors so you can actually draw it. And I will show you an example of yeah.
Next combat. You like techno at all? If you do, what kind? Silent J. Very clever. Well, it's not really my style, but I heard a techno song one time that went like doom, 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 doom. And then this other part came in and it was like
That's Flash animation. You can see they do drawings, they do video, they do sound as well, which is very cool. So, presentation. Lost it. Cool. And that was in 2000s. And now we have the HTML5 standard and a lot of different libraries that you can use to draw your images. So, you know, there's Ignite UI, Bonsai, you've got JCanvas, Kinetic, JS. What do you use, Antoinette, work for your library?
As I said, we use like third-party library.
Do you have the name of?
It's called HiCharts.
HiCharts, cool. Is that a paid one or open source?
It's paid one.
So there's many different types. You have open source ones and you have also paid ones. And today I'm going to show you a few of the open source ones. But before we do that, there's something we need to talk about. And I'll say it once in this presentation and afterwards we will, no more. Vector Markup Language, VML. VML is a standard that was used by Microsoft to do vector drawings. It's only for Internet Explorer 7, Internet Explorer 8, and okay, after this we will not talk about VMLs. So what is the future of graphics? And the future is Canvas. There's two standards. The first one is Canvas, and Canvas is rasterized, so you can see the image is by pixel and pixel, and you cannot zoom. If you zoom on the image, it looks like anti-aliased, you know, like old Counter-Strike games, which are not very good graphics. It's not possible to edit your image, so if you draw it, you cannot change it or move it about. You have to delete it and draw it again. And yeah, so you have to repaint, so you have to remove it and then put it back on. So Canvas is dobre, but ni dobre. And you can see if I zoom 400%, you can see its quality, it's not so good, yeah? It's very pixelated. So the second one that you can use is SVG. And SVG is a vector graphic. It's, so do you understand what is a vector? Yeah. Cool. You guys are smart. I'll be honest, I didn't understand vector graphics until 3 days ago. So I've been using it, you know, for a lot, but I didn't understand, you know, the idea behind what you guys are. Cool. So vector graphics are great. It's like Flash, and you can edit the DOM object in vector graphics, which is very important. Now I will show you how to edit SVG graphs, but in Canvas it's not possible. So SVG is good for dynamic charts if you want to change or edit something. And you can see if you zoom at 400%, vector graphics, it looks very sharp and still very nice. So I'll show you one example of vector graphics. So this is a vector thing. You have a look at the HTML code behind. Center.
Could you zoom a little bit?
You can see there's one circle.
Yeah, could you zoom a little bit?
Yes. Good idea. Let's zoom.
That's okay.
Maybe not. We'll go through the code later, but it's basically one object, and what you can do is, see, it's very fast. And if you do this fast enough, it looks like this. So it's a koala. And you can see it's made up of small little dots that become one image, which is how it works. And if you zoom in on this, so let's zoom in, you can see it's these images. And the circles look circle. You know, whereas for bitmap graphs, the circle it looks like that. So this is actually it's an actual image that you draw. So that's. Let's go back to my presentation. Why is vector better than rasterized or bitmap? Now we have many different types of screens. We have like big screens, like a 150-inch TV, where you might want to show a game or some sort of big website. You have, you know, your standard computer screen. Do you guys know White-Ra, the StarCraft gamer? Yeah. He's national. He's like Shivenko, yeah. He's a StarCraft 2 professional gamer. I love his special tactics. And you have your laptop screens, and also you have your mobile phone tablets, and you can see the size goes from very, very big to very, very small. And your website has to look good from big screens and small screen. So how can you create graphics that do that? In the past, you would have to create 5 different graphics, big one to small one, and then you check if it's the size of the width of the window is this big, you use this graphics, and so on. So it's very complicated, very time consuming. But vector graphics, it is better because it will automatically make big and make small. Compatibility is important, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to talk to you about Raphael.js, which is a graphics library. His name is Dmitry, something, I don't read Ukrainian. He's a Ukrainian programmer from Kharkiv, and he now lives in Sydney, Australia, and he works for Adobe. But before he worked for Atlassian, which makes Jira, and also for Singtel and Sencha as well. So why do we want to use Raphael? It's a HTML5 standard. You write one code and it works for Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, all the different versions. So it's standard. Even works for mobile phones and for Android phones as well. And it checks your compatibility. So if it's for Internet Explorer, it will use VML. If it's for Chrome or for Firefox or Opera, it will use SVG. So it will automatically know which one to check. So you don't have to write the code to check it. Raphael objects, you have circle, rectangle, ellipse, which is like whoop, and an image as well. So and you can have events and attributes to this thing. So I will demo Raphael. So here we have a map of Australia, and I will find Australia. So, and if you look at this object, you can see, maybe you cannot see, but you can see that it's just, it's DOM, so it's like a slash path. And if you look at, if we look at the code for it, it's just a path that we can say, this is the coordinate to draw each dot for the line, and it will draw the line for us. You can add event, so here we can add mouse over or mouse out, and this will show if you do this. Now, where I come from in Australia is easy to say. It's and that's my home. And if you want, you can also add events too. So if you're familiar with jQuery, you know there's a click event that you can click on a button. And here we can click. And and it makes it like. So yeah, so that's all JavaScript that does this interaction. And with Raphael, you can also draw shapes. So here we can do draw. So you can see there's a small blue rectangle. And the code for this is very simple. It's just you declare the object, you declare the dots, so how big, and then you give it the color blue. Or if you want to change it, you can give it the color, give me a color. Yellow, red. Chonove.
Chuck Norris.
It's now red. Cool. You can also do this. Create. So tomorrow when you go to the office, you can show your boss. Woo! And he will give you more money. Like, wow, fantastic programmer. So this is a demo of how you can use SVG and JavaScript library to quickly make this this code. And it's one line, it's 2 lines, it's 5 lines. It's very easy to do this. There's many examples as well, so you can see how to make. It's interesting, but it's not very useful. If you go on Monday, you give your boss, "Wow, look," he will be like, "Man, go do some work." So what if we can draw graphs? What if we can do data visualization? Then you can go to Jaspersoft and you can ask them, "Give me a job. I can make for you nice graphs for your business intelligence." Yeah, but Raphael, when I was using it 1 year ago, it was good, but now it's old. It hasn't been updated, and it's buggy. It's terrible. So I had to throw away my demo, and I'll make a new one for you. Now we're using d3.js. It's document-driven data. Wow, alcoholic. So d3.js helps you to create graphs and charts. So you can see there's many different types of charts that you can make. It's a very, very cool software. And I will demo a bar chart. Aha! So this is a D3 bar chart. It's very easy. You can see it just uses rectangle. 5. So you can see there is just HTML element, it's text. Or here you have, can you guys see this? Yes? Or here you have line. So it's just, you can tell I want to draw text, a line, rectangle, circle, and it will draw it for you. And then what you can do with this is you can, and this I think if you take on Monday to show your boss, he will give you more money for being a good programmer. So you can see we can draw on the side this part here and also at the bottom. And what we can do is graphs. So these graphs are not very interesting. let's change the color. And let's make them dance. And let's dance more. And let's dance together.
Big fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. 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 Let's test your knowledge and see what you've learned so far.
So that is HTML graphs using SVG in animation. I think it's great. Wait, there's more. I can see it. Does anyone have questions? If you want, you can ask in Ukrainian. I think Anton will translate.
I will translate if something.
Yeah.
Все поняли?
You said that if there are big images, you can adapt it to different sizes of screen, but
yes.
If it's a raster kind of images, so you can't transform it to vector easily.
No. So vector, you give a height and it uses a percentage, yes? So for raster, it uses pixels. So for 1 pixel is so much, percentage can be 1 or can be many. So that's how it will scale up and scale down. And it's, yeah, very useful for devices. And if you guys stay at the end, I will show you this this application on mobile phone. You can see how it will show as well.
Can we save generated charts file?
Yes. It's like JPEG or PNG. There's also .svg as well, so you can save it as a image file. And you can convert Canvas to SVG and SVG to Canvas. They have application to do that.
It's browser functionality or some kind of library?
It's SVG is browser functionality, HTML5 standard.
And it should say
Standard. Standard. Yes. It's like JPEG. Before I go, I want to share with you something. My friends at Infragistics, which is like a user interface library source, they have given me an ultimate license, which is worth almost $2,000 US, not hryvnias. So what we'll do is, if I can ask you guys a question, and the first one to give me an answer, they can have this license. And the question is, tell me 2 differences between Canvas and SVG.
Все поняли вопрос?
No. Canvas uses rasterized graphics, while SVG uses vector graphics.
Okay, and number 2?
Size difference?
We can zoom SVG easily, and we don't lose the quality of the image.
The main difference is that Canvas is like a GDI, it's very low level, and to use it efficiently we need to use also some frameworks that will deliver us layers, etc. SVG is an HTML5 standard. It uses DOM, document object model. It can be manipulated directly. Also, it's a hunk slower.
Canvas is actually as high level as SVG as well. They're both quite similar.
Are you sure?
I will check Google.
Layering in Canvas, you cannot separate the objects in Canvas. However, whereas in SVG you can create groups. You can do all the vector stuff, operate points, anchors, etc.
I think you've won the license, but I want to hear from the guy over there.
SVG can run on static HTML, but Canvas can run with JavaScript.
That's true as well. Nice. I think you're all winners here. But I love your answer. I think I need to check on JDI. Maybe I'll ask Fedor. So hit me after the presentation and I'll get your email address and we'll get you the license. But everybody wins because you all get a free jQuery grid license, and I just wanted to share something cool with you guys. So yeah, yes, thank you very much.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was a secret agent? Looky here, boy, I got me some fancy gadgets.